Paltrocast. The first question I have, do I call you Nile? Do I call you NBTalented? What do I call you?
Nile or NBTalented? Honestly, bro, I'm good with either or, man. But we can go with Nile for this interview.
Well, Nile, legitimate triple threat that I'm speaking with. A lot of people can act and sing, but they can't dance. They can act and dance, but they can't sing. You could do all three. Which one came first?
Oh man, dance is definitely the first one that hatched for me. I've been dancing ever since I could walk. Yeah, I always just grew up around music in my house. You know, my parents played a huge part in that. My mom is a singer and songwriter. My dad is a jazz bass player, and my brother is involved in the arts as well. So I was just always around music, and I was just always moving my feet. And somewhere around 7 years old, 8 years old, I started taking dance class, and my parents were like, "Oh, you should go try this. You should go try that." I ended up training professionally at Broadway Dance Center in New York City, and I started with hip hop dance. I went on to contemporary and tap and ballet and jazz, etc. And yeah, dance was just everything to me, you know, in my life at that moment. And I trained all the way until I graduated high school. And yeah, dance was just everything, you know, for me. It definitely was the first to brew out of everything. So yeah, shout out to dance, you know.
Did they make you try stand-up or take stand-up related classes as well?
Nah, actually, I never stand up in there. It's fun. I remember actually taking one that kind of surrounded stand-up at Broadway Dance where I was training. They like made us take like one kind of like comedy like acting class. So shout out to them for throwing a little bit of that in there for us. But yeah, man, it was straight dance, you know, for a good portion of my life.
Well, hey, enough about your talents. Let's talk about your credits here. And you've recently been part of two shows that just get advertised to death over here. The Cruel Summer commercials just keep getting shown over and over and over again.
Good.
The Power universe. I mean, you either have never heard of Power, or you've seen every episode 6 times from every book from the show.
Yes.
And I think I've interviewed like 60% of the people who've been on Power at this point in time. And the reason I say that is because they're never only on Power. They're always on 3 shows at the same time.
Right.
It is the most hustler-oriented cast I think I've ever found, yourself included. So what was it like, / is it like, spoilers free here? Because you never know who's coming back, being part of Power 3.
Very true. You never know who the heck gonna pop up again in the Power.
You'll be in Power 6,
you know what I'm saying?
Baxter and your character. Yeah.
Right, as a ghost or as a zombie or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, Power was such a surreal and challenging experience, you know, for me. I was super familiar with the Power universe at the time when I got the opportunity to take on the role of D-Wiz, who I played in Power Book 3. And I mean, what can I say, man? It's just such a dope universe, you know. 50 and the amazing cast, shout out to 50 Cent, has just made a whole empire out of Power, you know. And Power Book 3 was super dope to work on, especially since it was the origin story of the character Kanan that you see and the first Power season. And man, it was just, there's not enough words in the book to describe that experience. It was my first 2 episode time on the show. So that was like my longest time on the show so far in my career at the moment. And playing D-Wiz was just insane, you know, being able to develop that character. If you watch Power Book 3, you know D-Wiz was a cold MF. He was a cold gangster, and but he was also Kanan's best friend and, you know, right-hand man. So it was really fun to just develop that character and kind of play a character, you know, a little bit left from who I am as an individual. But I love taking on roles that, you know, step me out of my comfort zone. And the cast was just so dope, super unique and super diverse. And it was great just getting to know them and just working with them over that period of time, you know, being on the show. And yeah, that's definitely one of my top experiences as an actor on TV. So shout out to the Power Book 3 universe and shout out to the Power universe in general. You know, we love y'all. keep watching, most definitely.
Yeah, your credits are pretty diverse in that I think you're the only power related person I've interviewed that's also been on a Disney show.
Yeah, that's
There's not a lot of crossover between the Power universe and Disney.
yeah.
So Chang Can Dunk is one of your credits as well. So, when we look at what you've been up to, hey, he's on STARZ, Freeform, Disney Plus, etc. So it's kind of like you're a free agent, but doing well in your free agency.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny. It's like, I find that it's really inspiring to explore the depths of your artistry and take on different roles. Even me, like looking at it, even with you telling me now, looking at the credentials, it's a lot of jumping around, but that's what it is. Definitely to be an actor, and an actress, just to take on different faces, and different challenges where you have to do a completely different theme, each time, and it's not always something that you might be comfortable with or what you're used to, but that's what it is when it comes to, exploring the depths of your artistry. So, shout out to my, my agents, and shout out to my management as well for keeping me, on my toes, and open to different experiences and different roles, most definitely.
Yeah, you're not the nicest guy on Chang Can Dunk. You're not the nicest guy on Power. And clearly I'm sticking to a smiley guy who can dance. So do you like exploring the darker or the things that are the total antithesis of who you are as a person?
Absolutely. I feel like after doing Power and Chang, especially since those were the two predominant roles where I had to step into that darker side, and when it came to characters, I feel like after that I kind of just lit this fuse where I was like, yeah, it's fun to be the bad guy in these roles, because it's just, it's I love doing that, and just creating these personas that, are just completely left from how I walk through the world, So yeah, shout out to those roles, man. Shank and Dunk too. Even Shank and Dunk, I was a straight asshole, playing the role as Owen. I was super mean towards Shane's character that you see, not accepting him at all, and just kind of being, I was also the sidekick of shout out to my boy Chase, in the movie as well. So it was definitely a prick of a character, but it was still a fun, super raw role to take on. So shout out to
I haven't done a lot of research related to Chang Can Dunk, but any idea if that was a working title that stuck for the series? And by that I mean, I'm guessing that the name is a reference to White Man Can't Jump, but in probably 2023, you can't have a movie called White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah. It's funny that you asked me that question, because I can't name a bunch of what the titles were before him, but I think they definitely had a couple of different names bouncing around. I remember even when the trailer came out, people were like, I wonder, if there's a little subliminal message. I feel like there definitely was, kind of definitely in a sense, and you definitely see it too when you watch the movie. It's just, but this one really zeroes in on the Asian American culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did such a good job too of just capturing the rawness, and that's, I don't see that talked about a lot too, especially in films in general, especially in the Disney side too. So shout out to Disney as well for taking on that storyline, and I feel like it was really moving film, and capturing what that's like, and talking about discrimination, and talking about accepting people for who they are. They really did it with that one. So yeah, shout out to Chang and Dunk once again.
And Cruel Summer, is that the next thing? Your role as Jeff on the show, that's the thing to tout at the moment?
That is the next big project for me, and will be my biggest TV project I've worked on so far. My longest role in the series. I am super pumped for Cruel Summer. Another one, which is just a super surreal experience, and to be working on season 2 of the show, I'm so blessed. Cruel Summer season 1, I think, was like the last show that I really binge watched, and I was like, oh man, like this shit had me hooked. Like, I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. and to be able to come in for this new season is just absolutely insane to me. So definitely be on the lookout for Cruel Summer dropping on June 5th, season 2.
Where did that show film? These days you can't tell where anything is. In other words, I love the show Atlanta, and there's an episode where they go to New York and you go, that's not New York, that's Atlanta.
That's not New York. That's a TV set, you know.
And then Freeform, another one of my favorite shows on Freeform is Single Drunk Female, which takes place in Boston, and then you see in the credits filmed in Georgia or made in Georgia.
Right, they sneak you with it.
That's also not Boston.
They sneak you with it, most definitely.
Yeah, so where was Cruel Summer filmed?
Cruel Summer was filmed in Vancouver, Canada, actually, and which was a shout out to Vancouver, man. Such a beautiful city. That was actually my first time filming somewhere by myself, away from friends and family completely, outside of the country. So that was a really eye-opening, experience and dope experience, taking that on as a young man and just learning to adjust to a new area. But, the people in Vancouver were so nice, and the cast and crew were just so dope. So it was just a hell of an overall. I want to go back to Vancouver really bad. That's on my list, so fingers crossed for another project in Vancouver, soon. It's a beautiful city. Had a great time out there, most definitely.
It seems most of the Disney Plus shows film in Vancouver, so I was surprised to hear that Chang Canton didn't film in Vancouver.
Yeah, me too. I bet I actually wondered too. I would have to go back and look. I'm not sure how many places they bounced around, but the majority of Chink was done in Connecticut.
Oh,
and, yeah. It's
where in Connecticut was their filming?
Oh man, I can't even remember.
Stanford. Because
I want to say we were around Stanford area, maybe just a little outside of that. And that's we were the majority of the time. And I think they might have filmed in a couple of different locations. But yeah, I had no idea how much stuff was filmed in Vancouver, all the CW series and a lot of the, like you were saying, the new Disney Plus shows that we see coming out are being filmed out there. So yeah, shout out to Vancouver,
There you go. So winding down here to the last two questions, as I called out towards the top of the interview, NBTalented is your musical moniker. Your credits include Lorde, other great people there. Now, you're getting pretty busy on the TV and film front, but is NBTalented going to perform in the near future, tour, anything like that, or just too busy?
Hell yeah. I want NBTalented to do everything possible in the near future. I got so much music on the way. I'm consistently creating, and it's funny, me doing music's always been in my life, but I've really been, seriously going at music and dropping music, I feel like, over the span of these last 4 years, and really just exploring my artistry, learning how to produce and just dropping a bunch of different sounds and genres. And just being experimental, so you should definitely expect music videos. I got visuals coming soon. I got new projects coming out, and I just hope to really be lifting, music off the ground along with acting and just seeing them intertwine. And it's going to be everywhere, NBTalented is going to be on everything, right with Nile Bullock, merged into one. So absolutely. Definitely keep a lookout for new music and new visuals coming soon, and be sure to keep listening on all platforms. Most definitely.
Last question for you before I let you go. What's the last concert or gig that you went to for fun?
Woo! I'm so happy that you asked me that, because I get to say, shout out to my best friend too, who scored me free tickets to this. It was Janet Jackson.
At the Garden?
Yes, at Madison Square Garden. It was phenomenal, man. I love Janet. I came up with her in my household right next to Michael, so it was just great to watch her still performing and doing her thing. And yeah, that was the last big concert that I went to. And now I'm working on doing my own concerts, so stay tuned for those. NBTalented tour concerts, I don't know, could be coming soon, sooner than you think. So yeah.
Paltrocast.